welcome to another episode of Kate and Isaiah Living Large. I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Kate.
And on this episode, Kate's going to introduce the episode.
Well, this episode, a video came to my attention the last couple of weeks that is 9 years old. So we're bringing you the most relevant content, most up-to-date content here on Kate and Isaiah Living Large.
Taking you back to 2010s.
Yeah. Yeah, 9-year-old content was like 2016. So think back to when Trump was first elected.
Oh, God. Yeah, wow.
Sorry, this is not a political podcast. There's a Canadian comic named Nicole Arbor who put out a video called Dear Fat People, and it had millions and millions and millions of views and some very controversial opinions. And we'll put the links to it in the description or something. Yep. The technology is beyond me. But she made some controversial statements in it, like, you know, fat people are doing this to themselves, and if this inspires fat people to do it, blah blah blah, to get thin and to work out and to eat better, cool, I'm okay with that. And so she says some pretty offensive things, like, why do they smell like sausage? Like, they didn't even eat sausage probably. Like, and it was hotly criticized at the time. And then furthermore went into she was even interviewed on The View.
Yes. And
Joy Behar and company lit right into her. And so we're going to talk about some of the content of those videos, and she defended herself saying she's a comic and it's satire, and that's totally fine.
We're gonna get into those. We're gonna talk about those, but before we get into those, what's new? What's the haps? You got some shows coming up. You got some stuff coming up. We're getting into September almost.
September is a big month for me on the comedy front. Talked about music last episode. The next, I get to go to the Awesome Festival the week of September 16th to 20th. And I'm so excited, heading to Campbellton. I've been talking about this for months now. It's finally almost here. And I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited. And huge thanks to Nathan Dimitrov, who's just fantastic for inviting me to come to this festival and in its inaugural offering. And headliners are like Nathan McIntosh, who's originally from Halifax but lives in New York now and has been on like Tonight Show and all kinds of stuff, and one and only James Mullinger. And that's just the English side. There's some great French comics, and I am so excited to just be in that world for a few days. And before that, I'm trying to get as many shows as I can in to get the reps in, make sure I'm ready. So I've got a show at Hampton Brewing tomorrow night. That's August 28th, with headlined by John Scove Nielsen, who's brilliant, hosted by Taylor Lakeport, his lovely wife, who's also hilarious, and Austin Hill, who's just a great guy and also funny. That would be rude if I was like, "They're so funny." Austin's great. He's great. He's nice. And then I'm doing the Fusion East Tap Room with John Nesbitt on September the 5th, Friday night, and No Jokes Barred on September 6th at Wasted Day Brewing, hosted by John Ford, longest running open mic in New Brunswick.
Heck yeah.
Ooh, so that's my plug. If you like to see me in any of those St. John area shows, please come.
Yeah.
I know I've had some friends coming to the Hampton show. Love to see people out. It's it's my 2-year anniversary in comedy this month.
Oh my goodness. 2 years? And I've never seen a single one. Wow.
Yeah, well, you're rubbing that in, aren't you?
I'm doing real good.
Yeah, 2 years in. You know, it's about time you come see me. 2-year anniversary.
Oh my goodness. I'm doing good avoiding it. It's been 2 years. I'm doing really good to avoid those comedy shows.
I'm gonna start avoiding you.
Oh my goodness.
What's going on with you? You're starting a new job soon.
I literally would be my second day on my new job when this comes out.
Excellent.
So we're gonna say that it's going really well.
Made a splash.
Yes, I made a splash.
Swim.
I'm amazing, and everyone loves all the changes I've already made. So that's what's happening.
Stay in your lane.
But
I can't stop.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of where we'll be at. I'll be at this point. It's good. Hopefully everything's going well. That's kind of it.
Yep. So to the topic du jour, I made Isaiah watch these videos before the podcast, and he had neglected to watch one of the 3 that I sent. So I made him do it before we recorded. Because that's who I am as a person. You need to read all of the relevant material that I sent you. So what were your first thoughts?
Well, my first thought is this is very 2016. It was very, very much of the time. I think that is a person attempting to be edgy with their comedy. Again, very 2016-ish.
You don't think edgy people are still trying to do that today? I do.
I think people are still trying to be edgy today, but it's different. It's a different type of, yeah. Back in 2010s, edgy was very much trying to be offensive to people.
I think it's still.
And I don't think that's edgy anymore. I don't think people find offensive comedy as edgy anymore.
You don't think people listen to Joe Rogan?
I don't find that. I don't find him edgy though. He's not edgy.
Yes, he is.
No, he's just offensive.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Is that it's not edgy? But did you find this edgy or offensive? I guess my question.
I found it offensive. It was offensive comedy. But in 2010s, edgy comedy was offensive comedy. Now in 2020s, offensive comedy is just offensive comedy. Not edgy anymore.
Okay.
Because everyone does it.
Right. I guess what I'm saying about this particular video, did you find it offensive? You did find it offensive.
I found it a little offensive.
Would you find it offensive in 2016 if you had seen it then?
It would have been on the borderline of, but I probably not as much in 2016.
Because I mean, you and I have spent the last 2 years plus talking about these issues every week.
Yes.
And to see them outlined in this way, this is my initial reaction to it is, one, superficially, I found her very annoying.
Oh no, I found her super annoying. She wasn't funny.
No, there was some of what she said that I like. She had a couple of good one-liners on The View in that episode and that clip, and that I found kind of funny. And there were a couple of things that I was like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, you're doing a thing. Like when she referred to herself as side chick Barbie.
Yeah.
And the episode, I thought that was pretty funny. And so she seems to be self-aware enough. And I did do a little bit of research, and by a little bit of research, I mean, I read her Wikipedia page. I didn't do a deep dive or anything, but she was a cheerleader who was cheerleader with the Toronto Raptors, or no, with the Humber College team, and led them to cheerleading championships. So she's kind of like the ultimate thin blonde lady who is just not. Oh, this is borderline cruel. I don't know why.
I'm being really angry at that.
I'm not angry. I just I don't know. I don't want to be cruel to poor Nicole Arbor, but because I don't want her to clap back at me because I'm so fat.
It's 10 years old. She probably doesn't exist as a person right now. Well, sorry. Let me rephrase that. She probably doesn't exist as an entity online that people care about anymore.
Maybe not, but which is probably more the reason she was like, I was mentioned in a podcast in New Brunswick.
No,
I'm gonna listen now. I'm desperate for any kind of attention. Maybe we won't tag her.
Probably not.
But I guess what I'm saying is she's kind of one of those people who's pretty, who just was like, I better be funny because I'm just not pretty enough to be a leading lady.
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, it is born of that age where, well, everyone was just trying to be offensive to people. It was a very much that age time frame.
Well, and I think too, even in the last decade, there's been a lot of inroads which we've talked about before in the medical community about obesity and how that operates and how it's perceived in the medical community that it isn't a lifestyle choice, and that has all really happened in the last 10 years. So what she was saying in 2016, not that she's a doctor, but it was more reflective of the time, even in terms of medical sense. So I was listening to it. The first time I heard it, I was like, what a bitch. Like, just go fuck yourself. Sorry. Can we edit that out?
No, we're good. You're good. We're past 5 minutes. You can swear.
I don't like swearing, though.
It's fine. We got a little bit of a tag on here. We're good.
Yeah, all right. So just stop. But then I was like, of the day, that was what was out in public. And she kind of said when I listened to it a couple more times, I was like, she did say, I'm not talking about people who have a disease or who are sick. I'm talking about people who just need to get up and move. And I was like, her unabashed, no apologies kind of
No,
it certainly wasn't going to inspire anyone to do it.
I took that part of her saying that as I don't want to get in a lot of trouble. I'm just going to say offensive things to try and get people to be with me. And here's the thing I'm going to say to use as my defense to say I'm not hating on fat people.
Right.
And that was what she was doing.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I can see that.
That was it. I felt that was 100% what that was for. And she used it in The View. When she talked in The View, she said, hey, well, I wasn't talking about all fat people. She said she used it as her defense.
Right. Yeah. And I guess that's where, and then she's like, it's satire. And I was like, you'd have to be smart for it to be satire. But I part of me, like, you know, when you look back at the history of satire, oh my God, I'm boring. When you look at, say, like, Jonathan Swift wrote this piece of satire in the 19th century, I believe, and it was about the Irish potato famine. And essentially, it's called an indecent proposal. A Modest Proposal. No, Indecent Proposal is a Woody Harrelson movie.
Good movie though.
Yeah, with Demi Moore. But the Modest Proposal essentially equates to, you know, to compensate for our hunger because of the Irish potato famine in Ireland. We should eat babies because we're big Catholic families and we're having a lot of babies, like bang, 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 bang. So like to feed our people, we should just, and reduce our population, we should just eat the babies. And it's done in such a way. And that is a satire because eating babies, I was going to say delicious. Ridiculous.
My favorite, baby back ribs.
There's a comic who has a whole bit like that. Liam McNamara is like, babies are delicious. Baby carrots, baby back ribs. But yeah. But no, babies are not. That's why delicious popped out. Sorry, Liam, stealing your bit. But like, I was like, okay, so that is satire. What this was, I think you're right, is just trying to get the clicks, and hell, it worked for her
until she got thrown off. I guess she got on The View. She got kicked off YouTube, but
and then put back on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you're willing to go down with that as your claim to fame.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that was in that time. Like that's late. You know,
mid
late
2010s. Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, so it's like that we were slowly changing, but like, you know, like you said, Trump was elected that year.
Well, I think that
caused a lot of push.
Yeah, I agree. I think that actually the rise of Donald Trump, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about that guy, but I think that was that in itself was a sign of people who felt like they couldn't say anything for a long time for various reasons, right or wrong, mostly wrong. Felt like they were being like, oh, I don't know, I don't like all of these changes that are happening, but everybody's so I don't want to say the word woke, but that's what I'm going to say for clarity. And people are just like, I can't say, I feel like I can't say anything. And then Trump comes up and it's like, I'm going to say whatever I want. I think that's the era that this comes out in. Like,
I would say that if looking back at 2014 through 2017, 2018, cancel culture was pretty harsh.
Right, because that's right at the height of Me Too, right at the height of...
Cancel culture was really, really just pushing, like... So there was a lot of pushback against it. I think we've come to a point where cancel culture doesn't exist anymore, though. So that's also a problem.
Right. And even the people who were canceled at that time were never really canceled. Yeah. Well, except for the like people who were put in jail.
Listen, you get canceled. You just go right wing.
Right. Exactly. They'll like me.
Yeah. I got canceled. That's
excellent.
Excellent. I can make money now. Yeah. When's our right wing grift coming? Soon, right?
We're never getting canceled.
Oh, dang. But I think that there is a point where like satire is not meant to make fun of people. It's to make fun of a situation
and incite change in a lot of cases.
It's about punching up, not down.
Yeah. And punching up and down, like, you know, whatever. I tend to be I once I saw her argument of satire, I really considered it because again, my initial reaction was like, shut up. Just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about, you stupid cheerleader. I do not like you. But then I was like, okay, Caitlin, give it a rest. And because we spent a lot of time talking about how everybody has their cross to bear. And so I really took the time to let it sink in and consider it and was like, okay, let's examine this satirical argument a little bit. And be like, well, okay, but if, and I think they said it on The View too, is they're like, if you're trying to inspire people to get in shape, why don't you like volunteer to help coach or do anything that is.
I don't like those arguments either, though.
No, I mean, I don't either, actually.
Those arguments of, well, if you want to whatever, you should donate more money or you should go help. Those are just dumb arguments.
No, I think it's okay to draw attention to an issue, but I don't think she needed to be the one to draw attention to that issue.
I also think that she wasn't making jokes. She was just saying, I hate fat people because.
Right.
That's not a joke. You're just saying what you think, and that's
yeah, that's not a joke.
You didn't lead up to anything. You didn't tell a story about anything. You just said the thing.
Right. And in the second part, there's a second video with not quite as many millions of views where she goes off about how the plus size model Ashley Graham, is that her name?
I can't remember.
Was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I remember when that happened, and that was like a big deal at the time. It's like, oh, we've got a plus size model on the cover of Sports Illustrated. First of all, plus size models are like size 12, but,
yeah,
which is fine.
Not actually plus size.
They're not actually plus size women. You'd be like, wow, she's hot. She was walking down the street, and she was lambasting that. She was like, this is supposed to be like the height of athleticism, like. But I guess my argument to that is like a lot of the models who'd been on that in the past were like definitely anorexic and not the height of athleticism. If we're following that thread down and whatever, I think women are beautiful and if you want to do that, cool. I have no interest in being on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Don't bother calling.
Perfect. I think Sports Illustrated since then has really tried to like get athletes.
Yeah.
It's been a lot more. Yeah.
And less supermodel.
Yeah.
But even that, she was like, oh, and they still use Photoshop. I was like, of course they did. It's a magazine.
Yeah. Obviously. They always do. It's all not real.
You can't all have those pink, whatever, purple highlights that are whatever.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm trying to make fun of her, but I just can't.
But I know. I mean, I think the biggest thing, the takeaway, even though it's like it's at 10 years to today, there's been a lot of changes in the way we talk about the way people look, the way people appear, that kind of thing. Because, like I said, it was a very much of its age attempting to be edgy joke, and people today, even though there's people that will make the same thing, aren't seen as edgy anymore. They're just seen as like hating on people,
right? And I mean, I think there is a time and a place for it. Like, I mean, I participated in the roast of Michelle Lynn Petit a few months ago, and the way these like roasts work are like somebody gets up and they make fun of all the comics on the panel, and then they make fun of the main event. And I knew that the jokes that were going to be made about me were about my weight because I make jokes about my weight like that. And that was totally fine. I was perfectly fine with it. They were funny, some of them, but they didn't hurt my feelings because I anticipated them.
Right. Then and
these are my friends. Like I don't.
Roasting is a different type of comedy in general. And you're not making fun of a particular set of people. You're making fun of a person. And it reminds me of the Office episode where they roast Michael and he gets upset.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's a different sect of comedy, right?
The only thing that I was upset about that night is bombing as hard as I did. But don't write sonnets as comedy.
So you wrote the whole. Wait,
I wrote several sonnets. A sonnet for each person.
Oh my!
It was bad. It was actually the worst mistake I've ever made.
Can you send me those?
I tore them up. Actually, it was brutal.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. I think that we've come. want to say that we've come a long way since then, but we've also not at the same time.
Right. I think we're just like punching at different things and different people. And that's the thing. I think there's always going to be people who try to, and I mean, at the end of the day, that gave her 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's what some people are just looking for.
And now she's in her 40s and probably can't get a spot to save her life.
Probably.
And that's unfortunate too, because she may or may not have some talent beyond that she could be capital. I don't know her. I didn't follow her career. I didn't know who she was before this, and I don't know who she is currently. She was that one blip on the radar that I didn't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that one either. One from that time.
That would have pissed me off in 2016. I would have been.
Yeah, I would have not have been as upset in 2016 about it.
I would have been as upset, but for different reasons. I would have gone more inward. I would have been like, "Oh, I should work on myself." You dumb blonde bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 2016. It would have been. Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have even cared about it in 2016. Obviously, I didn't see it happen. So.
Yeah, you were a happily married. I mean, you're still a happily married man, but like you were like 1 year into your marriage, and I was city editor of the Telegraph Journal. I was killing it in my career. Like life was good in 2016. Life is still good now, though.
Life is good. But any last final thoughts before we wrap this one out?
Just this was an interesting dive, and I'm glad we talked about it because sunlight is the best disinfectant, like to shine a light on things and to look at something, even 9 years old, which really doesn't seem like that long ago. Yeah. Like the older we get, time is not relevant, but to see how far we've come as a society and then use that hindsight to examine an issue of the day is it was an interesting dive, and I'm kind of glad it came across our. Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. It is definitely interesting to always look back at what was happening at a certain time frame and think of what it was in its position at the time versus what it is now. Right. For sure. And because I genuinely don't believe that 2016 feels that far from 2025, but it's worlds away. It was 10 years, almost 10 years ago. Yeah. 10 years and a pandemic and all of these things and a couple of wars and a couple of very, some really serious world stuff that you're like, dear fat people, who cares? Right. This is irrelevant. We've got to tip the scales a different direction. Right. But where can people find us on the internet? We are at Kate and Isaiah Living Large on the Facebook and the Instagram. And I'm at Caitlin Dean on Facebook and Kate D on Insta. What about you? I am at Maritime Brews on all of the social medias. And of course, we still have our Buy Me a Coffee running. If you want to go ahead and donate to us, we thank you for any donations that you send our way. We need to get our mic fixed because I'm getting sick of just us. We need to have a guest. We need to get our mic fixed. We need to be able to do interviews again because I'm getting really bored of us. Oh, okay. And of course, you can always jump over to Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you can like, share, subscribe on that, or hop on over to YouTube, see our beautiful faces. And if you can like, share, subscribe on YouTube, that would also be much appreciated. But until next week, bye.